In 2020, we had two blockbuster sequels to the Oumuamua story, Comet Atlas and Comet SWAN. They were bigger, they were brighter, and we thought, finally, we were going to get a show. An epic celestial event. But then, silence. Right before their grand performance, just as they were rounding the sun and heading towards us, Comet Atlas disintegrated. It broke into dozens of pieces. The show was canceled. Comet SWAN, discovered by a NASA instrument, got diffuse, fizzled out, and became nearly invisible. The scientists sighed, wrote their papers, and concluded they were fragile. Too much sun, too much pressure. They were destroyed. But if you're still with me, if you believe Oumuamua was a scout, then you have to ask, why would an advanced civilization send massive ships across the galaxy, only to have them disintegrate upon arrival? The answer is, they didn't disintegrate, they deployed. Let's look at Atlas first. The fragmentation was catastrophic. Hubble captured up to 30 individual pieces, some just the size of a house, all drifting away. The official explanation is simple: rapid rotation, gas pressure, and structural weakness. It spun itself apart. But consider the motive. The technology needed to propel a ship the size of Atlas across thousands of light years would require immense engineering knowledge. This is a machine that survived galactic radiation, deep cold, and high velocity, only to be defeated by a bit of solar heating. It feels like crossing the Atlantic only to crash your ship on the very last sandbar. What if those 30 fragments weren't debris? What if they were the cargo? Imagine you are deploying a surveillance network over a hostile or unknown territory. You don't want a single massive antenna. You want dozens of small, independently powered observation satellites, all working together, cloaked by the dust of the disintegration event. The fragments ceased to be active very quickly, according to astronomers, meaning they vanished from the observable light spectrum. Why? Because they ceased the active sublimation, dropped their camouflage, and began their individual, quiet missions. They went dark. The mission wasn't to survive the solar pass as a single rock. The mission was to use the pass as a deployment maneuver. The fragmentation of Atlas wasn't a crash, it was a separation. A perfectly timed, high-risk, large-scale deployment of the Armada's eyes and ears. Then we have Comet SWAN, discovered by the SOHO spacecraft, which is designed to detect hydrogen, the key element in water vapor. SWAN was famous for its massive tail, meaning it was ejecting huge amounts of hydrogen-rich gas. It looked like a standard comet, just on steroids. But then it faded, quickly. Astronomers concluded it was simply running out of ice. But if you recall our historical metaphor, the Europeans didn't just sail to the New World, they established footholds. SWAN's disintegration and rapid fading looks exactly like an immense ship arriving and then dropping anchor. It used its jets, the massive outgassing of hydrogen and volatile compounds, to slow down, to bleed off its interstellar velocity. Once its speed was managed and it was settled into a long-period orbit, it simply turned off the thrusters. The cloud of dust and gas that hid it faded away. Look at this image. This is when SWAN was at its brightest. If this was a massive engine dumping fuel to slow down, what do you think they were slowing down for? Tell me your theory in the comments. The Jupiter system or Earth? In our metaphor, Oumuamua was the scout, the message washing up on the shore. Atlas and SWAN are the heavy transports, and their fragmentation events define the two primary phases of colonization: surveillance and settlement. Atlas, the fragments. The surveillance phase, deploying the independent camouflage probes to map the atmosphere, biocomposition, and technological output of the target planet. They don't land, they watch. The settlement phase, using immense power to break and settle into a long, stable orbit, possibly in the Kuiper Belt or the outer system. The colonization vessel is now waiting, cloaked in its own dark, spent dust cloud. A large, stable, dormant ship waiting in the outer darkness, surrounded by its own debris cloud, looks exactly like a long-period comet waiting for its next pass. It has successfully hidden in the cosmic junkyard. The scouts surveyed us. The Armada deployed its surveillance network. And the settlers dropped anchor. The question isn't whether they survived the solar pass. The question is, what are they going to do now that they are here? In the next episode, we are going to dive into the most uncomfortable part of this theory: motive. Why did the Europeans cross the ocean? For gold, spices, and land. What does an alien civilization want from a world that already has intelligent life? Join me for episode 4, Beads and Blankets, where we decode the alien manifest.